In a world of 8 billion humans and an endless stretch of diversity, traveling is one of the oldest, most universal, and riveting passions of mankind. When it comes to travel, with the beauty of the Bel Pays, the views from the land of the midnight sun, and the scenery of the Iberian Peninsula, Europe is undoubtedly one of the most explored destinations, receiving more than 58% of international tourists annually. According to the United States World Tourism Organization, 8 of the 10 most visited countries by tourists are in Europe. Major factors travelers look out for are the cost of living, food, accommodation, transportation, and, of course, sightseeing. A far common challenge for prospective European explorers and visitors is budget constraints. But not to worry. In today's video, we take you through the 10 cheapest countries in Europe for budget travel in 2023. Number 10. Greece. According to the World Tourism Board, Greece is the 9th most visited country in the world, and it's not so hard to understand why. The ancient city and modern capital of Greece, Athens, is quite a spectacle. Many come to see the remains of the world's oldest civilization and its perfect blend of the past and the present. But one good news for Greece's over 25 million annual visitors is that the history-rich country is also one of the cheapest to visit. Cheap and tasty street foods such as gyro or Greek salad will cost you around 2 to 5 euros. Fast food can cost around 5 to 10 euros. A boat ride in Athens will cost around 20 to 40 euros. With 18 UNESCO heritage sites across Athens, Santorini, Milos, and Mykonos, several theaters and places to tour, you can catch public buses for less than 2 euros per ride. With about 30 to 70 euros, you can get very good hotel accommodation in Greece. Hostels in places like Trikala and Santorini can cost as low as 15 to 40 euros. Greece is home to over 6,000 islands and one of Europe's longest coastlines, so you're almost guaranteed to get a beachfront hotel. Number 9. Serbia. The Vinatovaca Virgin Rainforest is one of the great lures of the Balkan country. In this forest, it is strictly prohibited to lumber, move falling trees, or even pick plants. The forest is left in its very natural state. Serbia has similar costs to Greece, a slight difference being that fast food is slightly cheaper in Serbia. Sarma will cost you less than 2 euros. Great Serbian soups, delicacies like paprika and goulash can be enjoyed for just 1 to 3 euros. The unique mixture of Ottoman and Mediterranean culture makes Serbia a good tourist destination. Number 8. Poland. Poland is one of Europe's most beautiful and explored countries. Since the mass destruction of Warsaw in the Second World War, the Poles have rebuilt the city to a point where you're more than certain to experience a culture shock and a couple of myth busts from what you might have heard. If you're a lover of history, you can start your tour at the Auschwitz concentration and extermination camp unguided for free if you book in advance. Guided tours cost around 15 to 20 euros. With fewer tourists, food is cheap in Poland, a true blessing in disguise. Cheap meals and lots of great and old restaurants. The Pridnica Swidnica has been in operation for more than 700 years. You can get a good meal at the world's oldest restaurant for 7 to 10 euros. Number 7. Montenegro. Montenegro is the world's 3rd youngest country, so a lot of people don't realize how cheap and easy it is to visit just yet. From the coastal town of Kotor to the capital city of Podgorica, this is a very cheaper alternative to neighboring Croatia with the stunning view of the Adriatic Sea and its beautiful Dancer from Budva sculpture. In Kotor, hotels can range from 10 to 15 euros per night, and you could easily get a meal for 6 to 8 euros. Trains are not a common sight in the cities, but several bus lines connect the country's historical centers and national parks, including Europe's largest and deepest canyon, the Tara River Canyon. Bus tickets cost around 70 cents to 1 euro, and taxis cost around 3 to 5 euros per ride. Montenegrins are very serious about protecting their beauty for themselves and tourists alike. According to the Montenegro Tourist Board, the country has about 117 beaches, and environmental protection laws exist for all of them. In fact, according to the constitution, Montenegro is a civil, democratic, and ecological state. Number 6. Bosnia and Hercegovina. With stunning old towns like Mostar that give a Middle Eastern feel and beautiful medieval architecture, this is one of the most diverse countries in Europe. In 1885, the first tram in Europe was launched in Sarajevo. A ticket from Baskarzija to Dobrinja costs just 2 Bosnia and Hercegovina convertible marks, or $1. What a weird name for a currency, by the way. Daily tram tickets across the city cost 5.30 BAM, or €2.50. Food and accommodation are very cheap for visitors to the heart-shaped land. Bosnians are coffee lovers, and they're the world's largest consumers of coffee, and a copy of strong Bosnian coffee costs less than €1. With mid-range accommodation costing most tourists around 40 to 50 BAM, or 20 to 25 euros, Bosnia is fast becoming a tourist haven. According to the World Tourism Organization, it is the third fastest-growing tourist destination in Europe. Number 5. Slovakia. If you're a lover of exploration, this one's for you. 180 castles and more than 425 chateaux are littered across Slovakia. 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, over 1,300 mineral springs, and 6,000 caves, including the Europe's largest cave column, Domica Cave. A 1-hour tour of the Stone Age cave with a boat ride costs €12. The food is quite cheap here. Brinzové haluski is the national dish of Slovakia, and it's one of the best potato dishes you'll ever have. It costs about €5. The capital, Bratislava, is the only capital city that shares a boundary with 2 countries, making Bratislava a unique melting point in Central Europe. Good hotels here cost around €40, and much less in Košice or Žilina. Traveling in Slovakia is super cheap and designed for you to explore as much as possible. A 1-hour bus ticket in Bratislava costs €1.20, and a 24-hour ticket costs €3.50. Train rides are free for students and elderly persons. You can also explore the country's diverse wildlife by hiking in the Tatra Mountains in Poprad. Now, that's quite a number of castles, mountains, and caves to satisfy your exploration cravings here on a budget. Number 4. Romania. For mystery lovers and thrill seekers, the Dracula Castle, Transylvania, in the heart of Romania is a great destination on a friendly budget of 40 Romanian leu, or €8. Sarmale and mamaliga are cheap yet capable dishes in the Romanian cuisine armory to keep your cravings at bay. Hotels in Bucharest cost 15 to 30 euros and less in other cities. The Paris of the East is blessed with stunning castles, undulating hills, beautiful underground caves, old towns, historic museums, magical scenery, and the world's largest parliament building. The Palace of Parliament is also the world's heaviest building at over £9 billion. Medieval towns such as Brazov can also be explored without breaking the bank. Romania is well connected by some of the best road networks. Transalpina is the highest paved road in the country, followed by the famous 151-kilometer mountain crossing Transfagara-Zan Road with its crazy twists and breathtaking architecture. It is widely considered by many as the best and most beautiful road in all of Europe. Number 3. Bulgaria. With a 24-hour metro pass of 1 Bulgarian lev, or 50 cents, and a 24-hour bus fare of 4 BGN, €2, Bulgaria has one of the cheapest transport systems in Europe, as well as one of the lowest average prices of goods. Plovdiv is one of the cheapest cities to tour. The city of artists is known for its rich history, iconic paintings, and creative street art. The capital city, Sofia, is one of Europe's cheapest cities. Street food can be as cheap as 1 to 3 euros. The Sveti Evangelski Rila Monastery attracts thousands of tourists monthly to the Rila Mountains. It's one of the spiritual, historic, and cultural centers of Bulgaria. Did you know that the bacteria used to make yogurt, Lactobacillus bulgaricus, was discovered by Bulgarian microbiologist Dr. Staman Grigorov? These bacteria only grow in Bulgaria. So yeah, you can get the best yogurt here. Number 2. Hungary. An otherwise simple regulation restricting building heights to 96 meters proved to be an unintended source of beauty for Hungary. Today, the country's very distinctive architecture is flanked by an array of Baroque buildings across expat-rich Debrecen, Szeged, Eger, and Budapest, home to the tourists' favorite Buda Castle. One thing Hungary is famous for is its thermal lakes. Lake Heves, one of the world's largest thermal lakes, and is open to tourists all year round, and has lots of friendly locals. A dorm room costs between 7 to 15 euros, with hotels slightly higher depending on how close they are to the city center. Local stores like Aldi and Lidl offer relatively low prices for common tourist groceries. The food is extremely cheap and delicious too. World-famous goulash originated from Hungary and is one of the national dishes here. Almost every restaurant serves them, and you can get a sumptuous bowl for around 2,000 Hungarian forint, or 5 to 8 euros. Beer is very common and cheap in Hungary. The Tokaj wine region is one of 7 wine regions in the country and one of the oldest in Europe. You can also check out the Hungarian Parliament building. Tickets go for 5,000 HUF, or 13.50 euros for Europeans, and 10,000 HUF, 27 euros for non-Europeans. All students pay half of the designated fee. Did you know that Children's Railway in Budapest is an actual train station run by children aged 10 to 14? No, it's not an amusement park. According to the Guinness World Records, it is the longest children's railways line. You can get your ticket from one of the child officers for HUF 600, or €1.60. This is one place you'd surely love to visit. And finally, number 1, Albania. Unbeknownst to many tourists faithful, this hidden gem is the cheapest country for tourists in Europe. Before 1991, Albania was closed to the world for about 40 years. Communist leader Enver Hoxha banned most religious activities, property ownership, and most forms of travel. After Albania's first multi-party elections in 1991, it became open to the public again. So it's still relatively unknown in the travel world, a hidden gem. This country is now rich with a charming lore, beautiful metropolitan cities, archaeological sites, and historical museums, such as the Pyramid Tirana Museum, which was once used as a NATO base. Not only is it one of the cheapest, but one of the most beautiful. Tafkozi, a special Albanian cuisine, is a mouth-watering baked dish of lamb, rice, and eggs that you definitely should try. A plate costs around 500 to 600 Albanian lek, or €4.70 to €5.70. There are well over 150,000 bunkers scattered across the country. Metered taxis can help you tour a couple of them. A general bus pass for anywhere within the capital, Tirana, costs 1,600 ALL, or 15 euros. Car rental services go for around 10 to 20 euros per day. Mountains make up 70% of Albania, and most of them are free to tour. It is legal to camp anywhere in Albania, so you have nothing to worry about, as wild camping is an Albanian thing. Most good hotel accommodations cost less than 3,000 ALL, or 28 euros, and dorm rooms go for around 1,000 to 1,500 ALL, or 5 euros to 14 euros. The beautiful Albanian Riviera and the beaches of the coastal areas of Saranda and Ksamil offer the most serene getaway for tourists. Due to its serene turquoise waters and shady beaches, Ksamil is now known as the Albanian Maldives, especially on social media. But you bet this is a lot cheaper than the actual Maldives. Okay guys, that's all we have for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting content. Let us know in the comments below if you've been to any of these countries and how cheap you found them. See ya!